Foreign Affairs, Chapter 8, Smoke-Filled Rooms. Hope you're all having a good day. The afternoon after your post-debates wild night out. You bolt out of bed at the realization that your mom will arrive shortly for the parents' weekend. I'd better get ready. You emerge into your suite and try to fix yourself some lunch, simultaneously exhausted and wired on anxiety. Look who's alive. I tried to wake you up once we passed the threshold of noon, but you were out cold. I think it was my body's way of procrastinating. I can't believe Parents' Weekend is already here. What's the big deal? All we have to do is show our parents around, attend the welcome dinner, and a few stupid family bonding activities while the press takes pictures, and boom, the weekend's over. It's just, I know this re-election campaign has her on edge, and I want to show her that I'm representing Rutherland well. What if I mess up in front of the paparazzi? Why? We deal with paparazzi all the time. Yeah, and it always sucks. You just need to give them something positive to report on before they go snooping around for a story. Like what? An outfit that'll make you look like you won an election by a landslide. Dee throws open the hall closet and pulls out a stylish outfit that even you have to admit looks perfect for the occasion. They say you should dress for the job you want, and you want the happy person who's making a killer impression during Parents' Weekend job. Right? Well, that's true. Let me try it on. The first kid charmed to impress. Wow, it's very Jessica Jones. This is gonna make one hell of a conversation starter. Your mom won't even recognize you. You look so chic. Thanks? You hear a knock on the door, and then Murphy and Tatum let themselves in. Clark, your mom's here. She's waiting in the quad. Alright, I'm ready to face the day now. Be nice to Clark, Tatum. He was having a bit of a freak-out earlier. It certainly doesn't show. You look like the perfect first son in that getup. I'm trying to keep that illusion intact all weekend. Don't dish on any of my non-responsible exploits at Vancross to Mom. I would never betray you like that. But what about your job? My mom is sort of your boss. My job is to keep you safe, including from your mom's exasperation. We'd better go. We don't want to keep our parents waiting. As soon as you and Dee step out of the suite, you're blinded by camera flashes. A crowd of impatient reporters swarm you. Dee, over here. Are you looking forward to spending time with your family this weekend? Clark, can we get a comment on the rumors that you're getting close with Blaine Hayes at Ardona? Here we go. Stay close, Clark. Tatum shields you as you muscle through the mob. One familiar reporter shoves a microphone in your face. Hello again, Clark. I'm a hard person to forget, but in case you have, I'm Mike Williams of Stalker Media. You look very prepared for this weekend. If you could win votes, you'd have any election in the bag. And speaking of, care to comment on Lewis Wright narrowing your mother's lead in Rutherland's presidential election polls? I'm a little concerned people are buying into his propaganda. So you're saying Rutherland's voters are gullible? Of course not, but Wright is peddling isolatism under the guise of patriotism, and that's dangerous. Oh, I see. You don't trust the voters to think critically for themselves. You know that's not what I meant. That's enough, back off. The reporter pales and shuffles off. You let out a breath as you reach the center of the quad, leaving the crowd of reporters behind. They find a way to twist everything. What if they take something I say out of context and it makes Mom look bad? Clark, they find a way to stir up drama, whether you said anything or not. We all know that. It's just on a normal day I can almost pretend I'm just a regular grad student. But with all the press, world leaders, and other VIP parents here today, it's impossible. I can't pretend I'm anything other than the first son with the weight of Rutherland's expectations on my shoulders. You're surprised. Tatum stops, placing his hands on your shoulders. He looks you directly in your eyes. Clark, your mother's campaign is not your responsibility. And even if it were, You've been doing your absolute best by her, so cut yourself a little slack and just enjoy spending some time with your mom today, okay? Thanks, Tatum. You always know how to make me feel better. I'm glad you're part of my life. I really don't know what I'd do without you. You place your hand over his, he flushes, but hold your gaze. I'm glad you're part of my life, too. He clears his throat and drops his hands, and with that, he's back to his usual business-like self. We shouldn't keep your mom waiting. Let's go. As you scan the quad for your mom, you see it's filled with unfamiliar faces of your classmates' parents. Just wait till you see the inside of the library, Mom. The architecture was inspired by Matteo Zabronellini's work. Oh, you've done your research. That's my girl. How's class been going, Henry? Have you covered the Faradonian trade agreement yet? I want to hear your thoughts. I don't want to bore you with the stuff you already know. Maybe I can show you the polo field instead? That sounds delightful, and you can give me your opinion of the Faradonia on the way. Right.
What do you mean you lost your debate? Weren't you up against the Rutherland and Ardona pair? Unbelievable, you're descended from Vukaja the Great. You can't even manage a good enough Leoshka.
No one knew they were going to pull through like that, and I haven't gone by Leosha since I was 6.
Dude, stop calling you Leosha when you show me you've got more brains than a 6-year-old.
This is so surreal. Really? You've met plenty of foreign dignitaries before. Yeah, but not like this. These are some of the most powerful people in the world, but at the end of the day, they're also also parents. It makes me understand my classmates better. I mean, we're all under similar pressures. Every family is different, though. I can see why some of the classmates are so intense.
Intense doesn't even begin to cover some of these people.
You finally spot your mother and Winston near the front of the gates, interviewing with a reporter. Clark, there you are. Mom. You hurry towards her, and she sweeps you into a warm hug. This interview is over. Everyone? Why don't we give the president and her son some privacy? Winston waves the press away, and once they're out of sight, your mom lets you go and looks you up and down. I've never seen you dress so presidential, and without our stylist, no less. Well, I guess my time at Vancross has really inspired something in me. Clearly, I made the right decision sending you here. So fill me in. How's your semester been so far? I want to hear everything. Don't your spies fill you in on everything? I've been, making a lot of friends. It's, so cool getting to know other politicians' kids. I feel like I've really found a community here, you know? Haha. Yeah, okay. That's wonderful. Many of you will probably end up working together in the future, so establishing connections now is smart. She smiles, giving your face a good long look, then her gaze becomes slightly concerned. You look kind of tired. Were you up late last night? Oh, yeah, I was trying to cram in a little more studying. I, lost track of time. Clark, if you're gonna lie, at least do it well. Okay, I went out partying with some friends last night. We were, finishing our world history debate. Ma'am, I was there with Clark. We took precautions, and there were no incidents. Except for licking your neck, but I digress. Thank you, Tatum. But Clark, you're not just a little kid anymore. You don't have to come up with any excuse just because you went out to have a little fun. You mean you're not mad at me? Why would I be? You're in charge of yourself. As long as you're not doing something sensational in a tabloid, you're fine. And I appreciate that you're spending the day with me when you probably just want to sleep. I'll survive. With a little headache next to some mother-son bonding time. Sleep, Clark. Sleep. It's nap time. Winston, can you ask Agent Diaz to grab a coffee and some aspirin for Clark? Right away, ma'am. Mom, I want you to know I am being careful. I would never do anything that would put your campaign at risk. I know how important this election is. I trust you, Clark. Most parents would kill for a son as responsible as you. She wraps her arm around your shoulders as you lead her to the gardens. Winston, Tatum, and the rest of the security team trail behind you. It sounds like you're doing well, though. Making friends is an important part of diplomacy. And, just being a person with a social life. That too. I was never worried about how you do on either front. Remember when I was doing a press conference with the governor of Hanover? You were 7? 6. I just had my birthday and a chocolate cake and had those little fondant frogs. Oh, that's right. To this day, I still don't know how you managed to slip under Winston's radar. But the look on the governor's face when you wandered in front of the cameras to offer him a piece of cake was priceless. Clearly, I was a diplomat from day one. Both laugh at the memory. Clark, I know my job has had a big impact on you. You didn't get the normal childhood that most kids would have, and I'm not always as available as I'd like to be. After your dad died, I should have spent more time. It's fine, Mom. I got it. I got through it. And you have enough responsibilities as it is. You don't have to worry about me. You raised me to be resilient, and I am, and I can handle this life. Tell you what, tonight after the welcome dinner, let's forget about politics and focus on spending some time together. Maybe we can get Winston to track down some chocolate cake for us, for old time's sake. Huh, only if it's got frogs on top. Wouldn't have it any other way. Just then you spot Aina walking nearby. She smiles as you wave her over. Aina, let me introduce you to my mom. Mom, this is my TA in world history, Aina Seth. President Kind, it's an honor. Oh, I'm the one who's honored. You're helping mold my son's entire future. Gloric hardly needs my help. He works hard, and he has excellent ideas. He's a natural when it comes to public speaking. I wish you could see him and Blaine. Hayes in their debate yesterday. They did a phenomenal job arguing their point. You shoot Aina a grateful smile, but your mom's posture stiffens slightly. I'm glad that Clark is doing well. I'll take it as a testament to his hard work that he has the ability to succeed despite the pairing. Well, we work pretty well together, actually. You really have learned how to be a diplomat in public. I have to run to a meeting, but it was nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk more at the welcome dinner tonight. Aina leaves with a little wave. It sounds like you're well on your way to making Rutherland proud. Now, show me the sweets I've heard so much about. We haven't seen Blaine yet. After an afternoon of showing your mom around campus, you head to the welcome dinner. Finally, I'm starving. I'm looking forward to meeting your classmates. Do you know who we'll be seated with? No, but I can always introduce you to... Madame Present, a moment. Winston pulls your mom aside, and you sigh, crossing your arms. You're startled by a tap on your shoulder, and you whirl around. Well, look who got all dressed up. You're really trying to impress your mom, huh? Well, there are other people I want to impress too, you know. Oh, interesting. Seems like you will have no problem with that. I'm betting Parents' Weekend has been a breeze for you so far. Yeah, it's nice to spend time with my mom. We haven't gotten to hang out in forever. Lucky you. I spent the entire day dodging my parents' questions about why I was almost expelled. At least we won the debate. No offense, but they weren't exactly thrilled we were working together. Though they'd probably be even less thrilled that we're talking right now. You're probably right, but I don't care. We're adults. We don't need to live by our parents' rules. Gotta say, I'm loving this new rebellious Clark. Before you can reply, the two of you are interrupted by your mom and two people who you can only assume are Blaine's parents. Blaine Hayes, what a surprise. President Kent, nice to see you. Melissa, it's been too long. Hello, Isabella, Richard. Congratulations on your latest debate performance against Wright. Shame about those poll numbers, though. I'm sure you'll bounce back. Oh, I most certainly will. The tension beneath their words is impossible to ignore. Blaine shoots you a glance and rolls his eyes. Clark, it's been a while since I've seen you. You look so different now. Especially dressed so sharply. You almost look like a real politician. Soon he will be. I say Blaine looks different, too. I'd say he's been on the cover of so many tabloids, I recognize him right away. Mom! I'm afraid we don't have much time to trade pleasantries. We should get to dinner.
Good luck with your election, Melissa. It sounds like you'll need it.
Led by Blaine's mother, Blaine's family coldly heads off. Blaine throws a glance over his shoulder. Those two are unbelievable. And Clark, what were you doing? I thought I warned you to keep your distance from Blaine. Mom, we have class together. This is a small program. I can't just ignore him. Yes, but you don't have to. She stops herself, takes a deep breath, and composes herself. Look, I'm sorry, Clark. Winston just told me that Lewis Wright's poll numbers are closing the gap, and I'm just a little on edge. It's fine, Mom. Let's just go to dinner.
Clark, Madam President, lead you to your seats.
Inside the hall, you glumly sit down with your mom and Winston at a long table.
I'll be stationed around the perimeter with the other guards if you need me.
You nod, and as Tatum departs, Ana slides into the seat beside you. We meet again. Looks like I got put at the good table. I didn't get the chance earlier to tell you how nice you look. You put the rest of us to shame.
I wouldn't say that, but I'll gladly take the compliment.
She studies you for a moment and leans in a little closer. Are you doing okay? You look a little tense.
I'm fine. It's, family drama. Her eyes wander across the room to where Hayes' family is sitting, and she nods.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure balancing politics with your personal life isn't easy. But for what it's worth, if there's anyone up to the task, it's you.
I'm glad you're here. Actually, I'm always glad when you're around.
Is that so? What did I do to deserve such flattery?
Do you want me to start listing the reasons? Because I could definitely do it.
She smiles slyly at you. If you could butter up all the dignitaries here tonight like you do me, you'll have world peace in no time.
Interrupted as Zarya and a man a little older than her approach the table and sit down opposite you mid-argument. I don't understand how you could forget what time dinner was starting. Didn't you make a schedule for the day?
Luca, you're the one who's wasted time telling me how I should rearrange my bedroom. Go into interior design if you care so much.
Don't get sassy with me. Your room was a travesty. It's unbecoming of a Dravosian dignitary.
I don't see how my room has any effect on my governing ability.
Of course you don't. And speaking of missing cues, aren't you going to introduce me to your classmates?
Zarya lets out an exasperating sigh and rubs the bridge of her nose. Everyone, this is my brother Luca. Luca, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, Mr. Castell. You're Devosa's youngest premier, if I recall correctly. That must be a challenge.
Immediate shift in Luca's expression is almost as impressive as he turns to face your mom.
A challenge I'm proud to say I've risen to. I take my duties very seriously. I've heard rumors of a possible civil war recently. Has there been any development on that front? It's been resolved, thankfully. We were able to help both sides reach a compromise. Zarya even wrote a speech to the public that was unusually decent. I don't think she had it in her. I would kill you if you give me a real compliment once.
Don't expect me to baby you on this. If you want to go into politics, you have to learn how to handle pressure.
Yes, because you seem to be handling it so well, you never take it out on anyone else. For a moment, you think you see a glimpse of sadness flint across Luca's face as he looks at his sister, but it's gone as quickly as it came.
You're just annoyed I'm calling you out. I know you better than anyone else, Zarya. You can't use sarcasm to fool me.
Actually, I'm annoyed because you still treat me like a little kid. Newsflash, while you were governing the country, I grew up. And as an adult, I don't have to put up with your BS anymore. Zarya stands up, making a point to rattle the table, and storms out of the room. You and your mom exchange a concerned glance. Zarya's been working just as hard as the rest of us. I can't believe her brother doesn't see that. I've worked with plenty of guys like him before. It's not fun, but it's part of the job. Although, if you don't want to deal with him in the future, maybe you should talk to Zarya. Having her as an ally could come in handy someday, if you ever want to work with Devosa. Comfort Zara and encourage her to confront her brother to earn diplomacy points with her. Check on Zara. I'll be right back. You step out into the brisk evening air and find Zara sitting alone on a bench, her face buried in her hands. Are you okay? She jerks up at the sound of your voice and quickly tries to compose herself. Clark, what are you doing out here? I wanted to see how you were doing after all that. She lets out a frustrated sigh and runs a hand through her hair. You sit down next to her. It's fine, it's just my usual older brother is the most powerful man in the country drama. Is he always like that? But to me, yes. He says he has higher standards for me because I'm part of the ruling family. But I think he really just wants to feel superior by putting me down all the time. Zara, that's awful. I mean, my mom pushes me to succeed, but she doesn't bully me. Can't someone say something? What good would it do? He's the premier. Yeah, but... that's unprofessional of him. Just because he's not against the law to be an a-hole doesn't mean you should be one. If he can't extend empathy to his own sister, how can he be expected to treat others fairly? I mean, as a leader, he's supposed to call out the problems he sees, to work for constant improvement. Yes, but not like that. Sure, but there's a difference between pointing something out constructively and berating someone. Was it always this bad between the two of you? That's just it. We used to be really close, especially when we were little. He was like a best friend and a protector and an older brother, all rolled into one. But when my parents died, he had to grow up super fast, much faster than me. And I think this was the only way he knows how to make sure people listen to him. It only got harder when he became premier. I'm expected to follow in his footsteps, but I'm always in his shadow too. I know that feeling. Have you ever considered doing something else altogether? Finding a different career? I toyed with it a little while, but I actually want to get involved with politics. I care about DeRosa, I care about what the people want, and sometimes I think I could do a better job than Luca. But I don't know, Clark. Maybe he's right, maybe I don't have what it takes. Alright, I've seen you in class. When your head's in the game, you kill it. Yes, but when I get cornered, I use sarcasm as a shield, which I know makes people think I'm not serious, but it's like a reflex. I'm just not commanding the way Luca is. But your humor is a useful tool. This is who you are. Why not lean into it? After all, jokes can diffuse tense situations, or get allies to like you. I'm sure having a fun personality wouldn't hurt your public image either. You've got a lot of charm. True. Luca gives off the stick-in-the-mud energy like no one I've ever met. Zara, there's a lot more to you than your brother gives you credit for, and I think you should march up to him and demand to be treated better. Just like that in front of everyone. Yeah, you need to show Luca you're not gonna take that crap from him anymore. I don't know. You can do this, Zara. Take care of yourself seriously, and your brother will too. Besides, I'll be there for you if you need backup. When you put it that way, you're right. Let's do it. With you by her side, Zara marches confidently back inside and right up to her brother. Well, back already? I figured you'd still be in the middle of your childish temper tantrum. You know what's childish, Luca? Belittling me just to make yourself look better in front of the other guests here tonight. Oh my. This ought to be good. Luca, airing your family problems is pretty unbecoming. Publicity, publicly deriding your sister, isn't a good look. You make everyone at the table feel super awkward just now. In our etiquette course, we actually had a whole unit on diffusing tense situations. You might need a few lessons. Oh, I didn't mean to make anyone feel uncomfortable. It just seems you've forgotten that no matter what we've become now, I'm still your sister. I know that, but... She keeps talking, not letting him interrupt. The same sister you used to sneak into the kitchens for late-night ice cream. The sister who accidentally ran over you with her bike and didn't speak up when you got into trouble for it. The sister who loves you to death, even when you're becoming such an a-hole.
I'm sorry, Zara. You're right. I shouldn't have said those things. I've been so focused on governing that I've let our relationship fall by the wayside.
I'm not saying you should stop governing, but just... let me help a little. Isn't the point of sending me to this school?
Well, touché. Perhaps we can meet with my advisors in the morning and come up with an action plan?
I'll be there. Zara smiles at you as the conversation starts back up around the table. Thank you for the pep talk. I don't think I've ever heard Luca apologize before. You did the hard part. I look forward to seeing your take on the rest of the world with as much gusto as you did with Luca. She raises her glass in the air. To taking on the world. To taking on the world. As dinner starts to wind down, Winston gets a notification on his phone. Madam President, we have a situation. He shows your mom his phone screen and she grimaces. Clark, I'm so sorry. Lou's Right just launched a particularly damaging campaign video. We need to address it. Now? But we're not even done with the dinner, and we were going to hang out after. She sighs and runs her hand over her face behind her, Winston. Shoots you an apologetic look. I know, and I'm sorry, and I promise I'll find a way to make it up to you. Like all the other times you promised me. I'm trying to be understanding, but you make it so hard. I know you've had to sacrifice a lot for my career, but when I was your age, I was living my life and not being a paragon of grace and dignity. I've never really had a choice. Clark. You stand up and rush towards the exit. Your mom starts to follow, but you hear Winston stop her. Just let him go. You burst into the cool night, trying to hold yourself together, but the emotions are bubbling up inside of you. She never takes the time, or makes the time for me. Why did I think this would be any different?
Clark, are you okay?
You were so deep in your thoughts that you didn't hear anyone approach, and you turn to face your companion. The person you choose will be the everlasting consequence for the rest of the book, so pick carefully. Oh, who do you see? Well, first I thought it was going to be Tatum. I thought this was going to be a choiceless option. Aina approaches you, her face concerned. Is everything okay, Clark? It's just family stuff, politics. She nods empathetically and puts a hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry. I know you must be under a lot of pressure. I just want a normal life sometimes, you know? One that doesn't revolve around my mom's re-election campaign. You gaze across the quad, a feeling of restlessness rising within you. Sometimes I wish I could just get away from it all. Maybe you can, if not permanently, at least for tonight. I know a place where you can get a little privacy. It sounds like you need it. Then, let's go before the security team notices I'm gone. You follow her into the night, feeling more exhilarated than you have in a while. After following Aina down a trail, you find yourself standing at the shores of Vancross's private lake. Not a lot of people know about the spot, but I like to come here to think. It's beautiful. Thank you for showing me this. The two of you silently take in the scene for a moment. Aina glances sideways at you. Do you want to talk about what's bothering you? You sigh heavily. I'm just tired of being the president's perfect son. I'm tired of trying so hard when she doesn't even make the time for me. I wish I could just have a life like yours. It seems like you follow your heart and go wherever it takes you. She gives you a sad smile. Well, I have constraints of my own, too. No one can live life entirely on their own terms. Yeah, but it's like, we're all walking around with these masks, projecting fake versions of ourselves. Don't you wish we could just stop pretending sometimes? All the time. She appears lost in thought for a moment. Ain't it? Maybe we both need to let loose. Maybe we do. Normally I wouldn't be so casual with one of my students, but it seems like we're both a little sick of playing by the rules. Well, then let's forget about them. Right now, we're just Clark and Aina. She steps a little closer, her smile intoxicating. Look, Clark, we all want to escape from our lives sometimes, and maybe tonight we can. Forget about all the politics and publicity. What do you want to do? You gaze out at the lake, and a smile stretches across your face. I want to go swimming. Raises her eyebrows as you begin to undress, and then lets out a laugh and starts to do the same. I have to say, this isn't how I was expecting the welcome to dinner to end. Listen, this is your dessert. I hope I didn't mess up any of your plans. Oh no, this is way better than anything I had in mind. Soon, both of you are undressed and you can't help but sneak a glance at Nana's body. So, feeling freer? Actually, yes. Tonight, it feels like anything could happen. I hope so. She walks to the edge of the water and then throws an inviting look over her shoulder at you. You're not gonna make me swim alone, are you? Go skinny dipping. Yes. I wouldn't have suggested this if I didn't plan on joining in. Follow her to the water's edge, savoring the way, and his eyes linger on your bare skin. Who's getting in first? I thought you would, since you're so helpfully pointed out that you are the one who suggested it. I'll jump in. But you're gonna enjoy the show first. You slowly stretch, raising your arms so she can admire the arc of your torso. You turn to catch Hannah, scanning your body, a mischievous look in her eyes. Feels like a delay tactic to me. I'm just giving you a moment to admire the view. How thoughtful. I'm glad to know that we can add humble to the list of your other excellent qualities. You give her a wink and then dive into the lake. When you surface, she's already jumped in after you. She does a backstroke, gliding easily through the water as you watch her. Did you swim when you were younger? Not competitively, but there was a river near where I grew up. I used to swim there a lot as I was a kid. Makes her way back towards you. Did you always live near Vancross? You haven't told me much about your childhood. Well, a girl needs some secrets, doesn't she? She sets her foot down to wade back into the shallower water, wrinkling out her hair. The moonlight shines down on her body, highlighting every curve. Aina, have I ever told you how beautiful you are? You haven't, actually, and for the life of me, I can't think why. The fact that we're in a highly scrutinized environment? Seriously though, this isn't weird, is it? I mean, since you're my TA and all. I don't think so. I'm not your professor. I don't control your grades. Sometimes life just happens. You make it sound so easy. It can be. My whole life has been planned out for me. Nothing has ever just happened. So here's your chance to change that. She takes your hand, smiling warmly at you. Pretend that you don't have the responsibilities that you do now. What would you do? I would ask you on a date. You mean getting near naked and going on a late night swim doesn't count as a date? You know what I mean. I want to take you out, or stay in and chill with you, or anything really. I want to do it all with you. I could get behind this plan. She smiles warmly, her dark eye sparkling. At the risk of sounding corny, we only have one life, Clark. Make the most of it. No one's judging you tonight. It's just you and me. She takes a few steps back, swaying slightly, and begins to dance. Let loose with me. He flashes you with a warm, characteristic smile that you've become so attached to. Water droplets glistening on her smooth skin like diamonds in the moonlight. You approach and begin rocking your hips, falling in sync with the rhythm. You extend a hand and she takes it. May I have this dance? When you ask so nicely, absolutely. Oh, what happens if I don't ask nicely? She presses closer, her hips against yours, and wraps her arms around your neck. Then we do things the naughty way instead. You become achingly aware of how close your faces are, your bare skin slicking together. Part of me feels like we shouldn't be doing this, but another part of me wants you more than anything. Which part is winning? This one. You wrap your arms tighter around her, leaning in for a kiss. She meets your lips with a fiery passion, pressing her body against yours. I've been dying to do this with you. Her kisses grow more fervent, and you tangle your hand in her hair, enjoying the sound of her soft moans. You place a hand on the back of Faina's head and pull her closer while slipping your tongue into her mouth. Intoxicating by the taste of her lips, you meld against her body. She caresses your chest and then lower. Faina. Your hands explore her body. She shivers as your fingers trail down her spine and follow the curve of her backside. Clark. Suddenly, the flash of a camera illuminates you. You and Aina jolt apart in a panic. What the hell was that? I think it was the paparazzi. Which means we just gave them a front page story. Oh no. Barbosa, 3 stars. Everybody else, decent. Okay. You've been caught by the paparazzi, but can you stop the scandal before it breaks? Find out in the next chapter. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below. Links to social media, Discord, if you like to support me and my content. Let me know what you thought of how I sounded today. So long story short, I'm using a new device to record my voices. So let me know. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.